Yo, what's up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, it's Jay Briggs here from Pickdawgz.com, bringing y'all my NBA Jam session on February 13th, 2023, man. If you're looking for more of this great content, y'all know what to do. Smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, and drop y'all like down in the comments. As you know, I love going through, seeing who y'all like, man. If you're looking for my best bets, the ones that I'm placing tonight, and best bets from the top handicappers on the planet, check us out over at Pickdawgz.com and click that premium picks tab. If you're looking for my $15 NBA Jam session play, my best bet in the NBA every night, link is in the description, man. It'll take you there right to my handicapper page, man. That's where you'll find my long-term packages, my $15 NBA Jam session play, and all the bets that I have on today's action right over there, man. You can also follow me on Twitter, as that's where I update y'all on late injury news, let y'all know if my mind changes due to late information coming out of the association, man. I drop free parlays over there occasionally, free plays as well. So follow me there, man. We got a really nice card tonight in the NBA, 11 games on a Monday. Y'all know we're going to try to smash it per usual. Rough day on those two games yesterday, but, we're going to bounce back. We cashed out on the Super Bowl, so, that was nice to see. We're going to bounce back in the NBA tonight. NFL season's over, man, so NBA, full attention. We're going full steam. It's right before the, whatchamacallit, though. It's right before the All-Star break, so pick our spots, but I love tonight's action. And without further ado, let's talk about it, and let's hop right into it. In our first matchup of the night, man, we got the Atlanta Hawks. They're out on the road facing the Charlotte Hornets. Atlanta laying 5.5, total 240. Me personally, man, here in this one, I do lean Hawks laying the 5.5. Charlotte, they've been so awful here recently. It's hard to even look in their direction, man. They get hammered just about every time out. They just got hammered in their last one by the Denver Nuggets. And they kept it competitive earlier in that one, and then the Nuggets kind of just took off on them there in the end. And, this Hawks team, a team that's still viable for the playoffs, I think they just got more to play for here in this one. I think the Hornets kind of showed their hand at the deadline, trading away Plumlee. This team was pretty much just Rozier, LaMelo, and Plumlee. So now that they don't even have him, it's hard to look in their direction. I could definitely see the Hawks coming in here and putting it to the Hornets, man. I will say the Hornets are up in the season series 2-1, and they did win the last matchup in Atlanta, 122-118. The Hawks won the second one, 125-106 in Charlotte, with Charlotte winning the first one in Atlanta as well, 126-109. I think this season series ends 2-2. I think the Hawks win this game. I think the Hawks are just, quite frankly, the better team. It's just a lean at right now because of this injury report. I do see Bogdanovich on here as questionable day-to-day. Same thing with John Collins. Trae Young's on here as day-to-day as well, but he's listed as probable. I do think Trae Young plays. I want to see about those other two. Sadiq Bey could make his Hawks debut tonight. I'm not really sure, though. Something's weird going on with that trade. So we'll see what's going on with that. But I would say I do lean Hawks laying the 5.5. I could see the Hawks in some money line parlays, as I definitely do think they win this basketball game. They need to start stacking wins, especially if they want to compete in this Eastern Conference. Like I said a minute ago, the Hornets pretty much showed their hand trading away Plumlee. They're going to be in the Wembanyama sweepstakes. So for me, Hawks laying the 5.5, Hawks money line in some parlays. That's where I'll be here in this one. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the San Antonio Spurs, arguably the worst team in basketball, and they're out on the road facing the best home cover team in the NBA in the Cleveland Cavaliers, man. Cleveland is laying 14.5. Totals 224.5. 14.5, I think, is the biggest spread we've seen this season. We have another one later today with the Sixers as well. We're at that point of the season, man, where bad teams are bad and good teams are good. We're finna hit the All-Star break. And, it's just about that time of the season. Me, here in this game, I do lean Cleveland, of course. How do I not? We've seen Cleveland absolutely dominate everybody in their path. Beat up on the Wizards 122-103. Beat up on the Wizards 114-91. The Pistons 113-85. The Pelicans 118-107. I mean, they've just been pretty much running through everybody. They just beat the Bulls in their last one, 97-89. After trailing most of that game, came back, won, and covered. I mean, this Cavs team is just in that mode right now. And like I said a minute ago, we got arguably the worst team in the NBA coming into their building in the San Antonio Spurs, a team that's been hammered in, 4 of their last 5. They've lost by 10+. They just lost to Atlanta by 10+. This is also going to be their 5th road game in their last 5 games, so their 5th straight road game. Cleveland also working with revenge as they beat them earlier this season, 112-111. The San Antonio Spurs beat Cleveland earlier this season on the 12th of December. That's kind of crazy. But I think Cleveland repays the favor this time. They absolutely take this team behind the shed. This should be a 20-point win, a 20-plus point win in my mind. We'll see if they get there, if they get up on a Monday for the San Antonio Spurs. They have played a lot of games here recently. They really have. So I would not be surprised maybe if some guys sit. But if they don't, and as of right now I don't think they are, Cleveland should win this one by 20-plus. I'll lay the points here with the best home cover team in all of the NBA, the Cleveland Cavaliers. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Utah Jazz. They're out on the road facing the Indiana Pacers, man. Pacers laying 1 at the crib, total 237.5. Man, we were making money on both of these two teams earlier in the year, man, and both of them now are really struggling. Both teams have now lost 4 of their last 5. The Pacers, man, we thought that they were going to start back just instantly getting back in that mode once they got Halliburton back, man. And they won that first one against Sacramento, 107-104. But since then, man, the next 4 have been really ugly. They got hammered by Cleveland. Cleveland's hammering everybody, though. And then they got beat by Miami. Down in Miami, they covered, but they didn't win. Then I thought it was a great spot against Phoenix to finally get another win. Phoenix was weaker in that game as they had made some trades. They didn't have all their guys in there. Nope, got beat by 13. And then in their last one against the Wizards on the road, man, they got beat wire to wire by the Washington Wizards. So this Pacers team really struggling right now. And tonight, Halliburton and Miles Turner are questionable. I want to lean Pacers if they play, though, man. This game, that's pretty much what it comes down to for me here in this one. If Halliburton and Miles Turner are in, I'm probably going to bet the Pacers. If they're not, I'll probably stay away. And if they're not, then I would probably lean Jazz. But it's hard to look in the Jazz direction. Also, as the Jazz have really been struggling as well. They've lost 4 of their last 5. They've been hammered in a few of these games as well. They lost to Atlanta on their home court. Then they turn around as 10-point favorites and lost by 13 to the Dallas Mavericks, man, 124-111. Then came out the very next game and got took behind the shed by the Minnesota Timberwolves, 143-118. Then they had the magical comeback against Toronto, 122-116. I'm not really counting that as a Jazz win. I'm really counting that one as a Toronto loss. That's the game they scored 5 points in 5 minutes. And then they just lost their last one again to the New York Knicks out on the road. So it's really hard to look in the direction. Both teams struggling. I think the Pacers get off the snide if they get their guys back tonight, though. So I'll update you on Twitter as soon as I find out if they're playing. So I lean Pacers. I want to see the injury report, though. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Houston Rockets. They're out on the road facing the Philadelphia 76ers. Philly laying 14.5, total 226.5. Man, Philly, I know y'all are upset right now, man, and nobody's happier than your guy that you're upset, man. Yeah, I thought y'all was going to win the Super Bowl yesterday, didn't y'all? That's what y'all get, man. And that's what now, 3 this year, MLS, World Series, Super Bowl. No championships for the city of Philly. Nobody's happier about that than me. And tonight, man, quite honestly, I think we fade the city of Philly. I just do. It's more a fade of the city of Philly than the Sixers. I don't think the Sixers come out tonight in blowout mode. I just don't. Maybe a weird handicap it might be. If you want to fade me and take the Sixers, I totally understand. They've won 3 of their last 5. They're a dominant home team. You can use the revenge angle as well. But I'm not thinking about none of that. I'm fading Philly. You know, the vibes in Philly got to be terrible today. They just got to be. And I doubt they come out here today and beat up on this Rockets team by margin. The Rockets actually beat the Sixers team earlier in the season, 132-123, in a double overtime game, believe it or not. And I kind of like what I've seen from the Rockets here, man. They've kept their last 2 games competitive. They took Sacramento down to the wire. Sacramento barely escaped in that game against the Rockets in the 130-128 game. They got fouled there at the very end, hit 3 free throws to win the game. But, you know, if it take that against the Rockets, I don't know. Then against Miami, I think they were 10-point dogs. And against Miami, they kept it competitive in that one. Lost the game by 2 points. So do I think they can keep it competitive against Philly, especially a day after the whole city just lost a Super Bowl? I do. Is it a weird handicap? Yes, I understand. If you want to fade me on this spot, I understand. But me, taking the Rockets plus the points. I actually kind of lean under in this game as well. I know I really rarely give totals, but in this one I kind of got a feeling about an underplay. So under and Rockets plus the 14.5. And if you're really feeling degenerate like I might be today, I might sprinkle some on Rockets money line. I know, call me a crazy man. Plus 800, good value spot. Hey, I might not be able to, not do it. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Denver Chicken Nuggets. They're out on the road facing the Miami Heat. Miami laying 2, total 223.5. Y'all know where we at in this one, man. We're not even going to overcomplicate it. We've been fading them all year. Perfect spot to do it again. We're getting the best team in the West as underdogs to the worst home cover team in the NBA, a team we've been fading all year anyway. Fire it up. Give me the Nuggets on the money line. Let's not even overcomplicate this one. We've been here all season. The Miami Heat, 8-18-2 against the spread on their home floor, man. That is league worse than every team in the NBA. They are in the 30th spot. Not 29, they're in the 30th spot, man. Charlotte has a better home cover record than them. My Dallas Mavericks, the worst covered team in the NBA, has a better home cover record than them. The New York Knicks, who do not hoop in Madison Square Garden, have a better home record than them. The San Antonio Spurs do. The Houston Rockets do. Any team you can think of off the top of your head has a better home cover record than the Miami Heat, man. We've been fading them all season. And like I said a minute ago, we're getting the best team in the Western Conference as underdogs against the Miami Heat. Of course, I got to take the spot, man. Jamal Murray, though, is listed as questionable tonight. Same thing with Aaron Gordon. Same thing with Tyler Hero. So, we need to look at that. But me here, I'm looking here. I'm really trying to think why this line opened up where it's at. Maybe it's something I don't know. I doubt it, though. The first game was competitive with the Nuggets winning 124-119 on the 30th of December in Denver. This one is in Miami, but it's not like Miami has no home court advantage, bro. They're the worst home cover team in the NBA. I got to take the spot. I've been fading Miami all year. I'm taking the Nuggets on the money line here in this one. Miami has been playing better basketball. They've won 3 straight, but, hey, they beat the Pacers, who've been really struggling. They didn't cover. They beat the Rockets by 2 points. Barely won that game on a out-of-bounds tip. Game winner, come on now, against the Rockets. And then they edged the Orlando Magic in overtime. I guess that's a good win. The Magic have been playing better basketball, but still. And I know the Nuggets are not the best road team in the NBA. I know that. The Nuggets at home, money. The Nuggets on the road, not really. But still, we've been fading the Heat all year. The Nuggets are still the best team in the West. Looks like they might be healthy tonight with Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon playing. They got the MVP. Maybe the 3-time MVP, man, in Nikola Jokic playing tonight. I'm all over the Nuggets on the money line. This could have been play of the day. I'm going to let y'all know right now it's not. It could have been very easily, though, and I am for sure betting this one. I'm taking the Nuggets on the money line here in this matchup tonight. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Battle of New York, man. We got the Nets out on the road facing the New York Knicks, man. Knicks laying 2, total 223. Me personally, man, I'm taking the Nets. The Nets always beat up on the Knicks, bro. It's just what happens. I don't know why it happens. It's just what happens. I will say a lot of that was with Kyrie and KD. So it's a different team. But I'm somebody who's kind of high on this Nets team, man. I sat there and watched that whole game in their last one between them and the 76ers. I really like what I've seen from the Nets in that game, bro. The Nets are long. The Nets got a lot of guys that's going to D up. The Nets don't have a star, so they're just out there hooping. And I think some of the guys that maybe didn't have huge roles on other teams, we're going to see them really flourish over here with the Nets. Like Mikal Bridges, he looked a little more tween, you know what I mean? Getting to the basket. Dinwiddie, he only had, I think, 9 points, but that shot at the buzzer, man, God. Ooh, I thought he was going to send us to OT. I had the Nets in the money line on that. And they were winning the whole game from 6-4. The score was 6-4. This is the only time that the 76ers had to lead. The Nets were leading the entire game up until the last 30 seconds where they lost. That one hurt. But I'm back on them tonight. I do think they go into New York and beat up on this Knicks team. Like I said, the Nets just always seem to beat the Knicks. I know a lot of that was with Kyrie and KD, but I still think this Nets team, I like the makeup of it. They got a lot of guys that's going to defend. They got some guys that's going to knock down some shots. And I think it's going to make it hard tonight on this Knicks team. The Knicks, they're in Madison Square Garden where for some odd reason they do not play their best basketball. And, I'm going to continue to fade them. The Knicks are the best road cover team in the NBA. They like to play their best basketball outside of Madison Square Garden. in Madison Square Garden. They're 11, 16, and 3 against the spread. I think they go to 11 and 17 and 3 against the spread tonight. Quite honestly, I think the Nets win this one outright. That's where I'll be. I'm taking them on the money line here in this one tonight. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Orlando Magic. They're out on the road facing the most inconsistent team in the NBA, in my opinion, the Chicago Bulls, man. The Bulls are laying 5, total 225.5. And me personally, I think we fire up the Magic plus the 5. I think we might sprinkle some on the Magic money line in this one as well. I think it's a good place to be, quite honestly. Chicago Bulls, I've been telling y'all, they're so inconsistent. I don't know what to think about this Bulls team on a nightly basis. What I do know, though, is that this Orlando Magic team has been playing some sneakily good basketball. That's what I do know, as they are one of the best cover teams in all of the NBA. The Orlando Magic are, last time I checked, they were second. No, they fell a few spots. They're fourth right now. At 32, 24, and 1 against the spread this season, covering in 57.1% of their games. But I still like what I've seen from them, man. I know they lost their last one in overtime to the Miami Heat, but they've won 3 of their last 5 games with wins over Minnesota, Denver, Charlotte. You know, we've already seen them beat this Bulls team once this season, 108-107 in the first matchup of the year. The Bulls did win the second one pretty convincingly not that long ago, 128-109. But like I said, I've liked what I've seen from this Magic team here recently. The Bulls, they've lost 3 straight. They got beat by Cleveland in a game they were winning majority of, and then Cleveland still red hot came and got them in the end. They got hammered by Brooklyn in an 11-point loss. Memphis hammered them as well, 104-89. It's hard to look in the direction of the Chicago Bulls right now. I was somebody that thought they were going to have a fire sale at the deadline. They didn't do that. I don't know what's up with this team. They might need to go trade for Russell Westbrook to try to do something. That's where I think this team's at, where I think maybe Russell Westbrook will help your team. I don't know what's going on with this Bulls team right now, man. They're not a good team. They got some good players, but they're not a good team. The Magic, I actually like what I've seen from them here recently, man, and I wouldn't be surprised if they win in Chicago and win this game outright. So me personally, I'm going to take the plus the 5, and I'm going to sprinkle some on the money line as well. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the New Orleans Pelicans. They're out on the road facing the Oklahoma City Thunder Buddies, the cover buddies, man, the best cover team in all of the NBA, man, our favorite money-making team. And with that said, man, I can't fade them. I got to continue riding them, man. We've been riding them all season. I think it's another good spot to do so, man. Give me the Thunder. I'll lay the 2.5 here in this one. 34, 20, and 1 against the spread this season. League best are the Oklahoma City Thunder Buddies. And the Pelicans, I know we were on them there for quite a minute, man. They won 3 games after losing 10 straight. Then they just got hammered in their last one by Cleveland. The game looked a little closer. The box score looks a little closer than the game actually was. Cleveland won that game wire to wire. It was never close in my mind. And I don't think that I just don't see it. I just don't see that the Pelicans win this game tonight. I think the Thunder continue rolling. They've won 2 games straight. They just beat Portland pretty handedly, 138-129. Beat the Lakers as well on LeBron night, 133-130. The night LeBron passed Kareem. We had the Thunder Buddies in that one plus the points. And, I've been on the Thunder Buddies all year. It's hard to get off them here. They're working with double revenge as the Pelicans did win the first 2 matchups. The Pelicans won the last one, 128-125. That game was an overtime game. That game was in Oklahoma City. Shai Gilgeous went for 44 in that game, and they still lost. And the first one was in New Orleans. New Orleans won that one 105-101. Zion played in that one. No Zion tonight. As we know, he's been out for a minute. C.J. McCollum also listed as questionable day-to-day for this one. I think the Thunder Buddies keep rolling, quite honestly. It's hard for me to get off of them. I've been riding them all year. They're my favorite money-making team. I'm taking the Thunder. I'll let the 2.5 here in this one tonight. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Minnesota Timberwolves out on the road facing my favorite team in the Dallas Mavericks, man. Mavs are at the crib laying 7.5, total 231.5. I know we're the worst cover team in the NBA, man, but the building tonight is going to be on another level. Just take my advice and trust me on this one. I'm taking the Mavs. I'm laying the 7.5. Hey. When I tell y'all the Dallas love is different than almost any other city, When I tell y'all the way that Dallas is going to love on Kyrie tonight when he steps on that floor is going to be like an amazing sight. And I think the Dallas Mavericks absolutely put it to the Minnesota Timberwolves in this basketball game tonight. I'm calling for a 20-point plus win. Let's not forget, don't confuse ourselves. This is the Minnesota Timberwolves, a.k.a. the House of Disappointment, man. I know they've been playing better basketball, but these are the spots where we look at them and be like, I put my money on the Timberwolves and they let me down. This is going to be one of those spots. I'm all over my Mavericks in this one. I know we're the worst cover team in the NBA. We're like the worst favorite in the NBA as well. I understand all of that. But this line, in my mind, is 7.5 for a reason. I think the Mavs absolutely smoke them tonight. I don't think this is going to be even a competition. I think this is going to be a wire-to-wire ass-kicking is how I see it. Maybe y'all are going to call it fandom. I don't think so, though. I think that the way this game is going to be tonight in Dallas is going to be on another level. Y'all have to realize, as a Maverick fan, I know, bro, we have not had a superstar like Kyrie ever. It just hasn't happened. Our two biggest franchise players were Dirk Nowitzki, a foreign player, and Luka Doncic, a foreign player. I'm not saying anything about that. I love those guys to death. But the Mavs have never had a box office player like Kyrie Irving. I'm telling y'all, this building tonight is going to be electric. I think the Mavs absolutely smoked the Minnesota Timberwolves tonight. I don't think it's going to be a competition. We just saw the Timberwolves get hammered in their last road game by the Memphis Grizzlies, 128-107, and I would not be surprised if this one went the same way. Me personally, man, I'm laying the 7.5. I might lay extended in this one as well. I'm laying the 7.5 with my Mavs here in this one tonight. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Washington Wizards. They're out on the road facing the Golden State Warriors. Golden State laying 4, total 231.5. Y'all know the rule with Golden State, man. Out on the road, pretty much an automatic fade. Golden State at the crib, we can bet Golden State at the crib, man. I think this is another good spot to do so. I'll lay the 4. If you don't want to lay the 4, I do think they for sure win this basketball game. You could maybe think about pairing this one up with that Atlanta Hawks from earlier, both on the money line. That should get you an even payout. I think both of those for sure get themselves wins tonight. The Washington Wizards, I will say, they have won back-to-back games against Charlotte and the Indiana Pacers, two teams that are struggling right now. But the Wizards did win them. Tonight, I don't see it happening on the road against the Golden State Warriors, one of the best home teams in all of the NBA. We know how stupid, dummy, crazy the Warriors go on their home floor. And quite frankly, especially after losing 2 games in a row, fading them just doesn't seem like a great place to be in my mind. Golden State, 21-7 straight up on their home floor this season. I know they just lost the last one to the Lakers, 109-103. I had the Lakers on the money line on that one. I thought that was a good spot to fade them. But now, after they finally got that loss out of their system on their home floor, they come back tonight. I wouldn't be surprised if they smoke the Wizards tonight as well. I feel like a lot of Mondays here recently, if you go back and look, man, we've seen a lot of stomp downs. So I wouldn't be surprised if this one is a stomp down in this late window. Golden State laying the 4 is the side for me. The Wizards, I think they are getting healthier. Looks like Kuzma could be back tonight, as he's listed as questionable. First game back, though, do I think he makes a lot of noise? I do not. Andrew Wiggins is questionable tonight as well. Even if he doesn't play, though, I think this is one of those games where Jordan Poole, we just shake our head and be like, damn, man, he's really good. And Klay Thompson, he's kind of been sneakily getting back in that mode, too. He just had 40 last week. I think the Warriors go ahead and win this game and win it pretty comfortably. I'll lay the 4. If you don't want to lay the 4, pair it up with that Hawks money line earlier, as I think both of those do win the money line as well. So, 2-team parlay for you. In our next matchup of the night, man, we got the Los Angeles Lakers. They're out on the road facing the Portland Trail Blazers. Portland laying 2.5, total 237.5. It's going to be a good game, maybe, as the Lakers, they got the usual day-to-day questionables on their injury report. LeBron and AD. This is what I think before we get there. I think AD plays. I don't think LeBron plays. LeBron hasn't played since the Oklahoma City game. He's sat now 2 games in a row. And quite frankly, if y'all didn't watch the Super Bowl yesterday, all I kept seeing on the screen was LeBron. I'm thinking, don't y'all got a game in Portland tomorrow? What you doing? You catching a private jet to Portland or what? Or I'm not understanding. Oh, you're not playing tomorrow. That's what I infer. Quite frankly, I don't think he's playing tonight. And with that, I kind of like the Blazers laying the 2.5. I went back and looked, man. The Lakers are up in the season series 2-1, as they won the last two matchups, 121, 112, and 128, 109. But I went and looked, man. The last game, LeBron scored 37. Vintage LeBron game. In the game before that, Bron went for 31. I don't think Bron plays tonight. And without Bron, I don't think Anthony Davis carries them on his shoulder in this game. I know we've seen the Lakers win their last one against the Golden State Warriors out on the road. We were on them. I had the Lakers on the money line in that one. I thought it was a good spot for them. I just don't think tonight is. I think the Blazers are in that same bucket as the Lakers. Both of these teams are fighting for that play-in at 8th seed in the West. The Blazers are in that same bucket as the Lakers, where they have to start stacking wins if they want to be competitive in the West. And so there's not really a more who needs it more type spot in this one. The Blazers are the healthier team. And I think the Blazers win this one on their home floor, quite honestly, man. The Blazers, this is going to be their 4th straight home game. They did get beat by Oklahoma City in their last one, 138-129 on their home floor. But I think they respond here tonight. I think they beat this Lakers in the final game of the night. We're only laying 2.5, which is a bucket, man. So for me personally, I'm taking Dame Lillard and the Blazers to beat the Lakers tonight, lay the 2.5. If LeBron plays, if I get any info on it, I'll update y'all on Twitter. But I'm pretty sure, using my social media brain, LeBron don't play tonight. And that's going to conclude today's episode on the Jam Session on February 13th, 2023, man. Thank y'all for watching. Smash that like button for your guy, man. Subscribe if you're new, and drop y'all like down in the comments. As you know, I love going through, seeing who y'all like, man. My best bets can be found over at pickdawgz.com. Click that premium picks tab, or just click the link in the description. It'll take you right to my handicapper page, man. That's where you can find my long-term packages, my $15 NBA Jam Session play, and any other bets that I have for today's action. Just click that link, man. Follow me on Twitter at ParlayGuyJ. That's where I update y'all on late injury news. Let y'all know if my mind changes due to late information coming out of the association, man. I drop free parlays and free plays over there occasionally. I got y'all tonight. I gave y'all 2 legs that I really like earlier on this video. Hawks money line, Warriors money line. I might see if I can go through and add some more to that. But I think those 2 for sure win the games tonight. So 2 legs of the parlay. Follow me on Twitter for the rest of that later tonight. Let's make some money tonight, man. It's been your guy, Jay Briggs, man. I'll talk to y'all on Twitter. Talk to y'all in the comments, man. I'll see y'all in the morning. I'm out. Peace.